So is The Accountant 2 actually as good as the original? Because today's video is all about the Accountant 2 and stuff like that, and how I actually went to a 11 o'clock in the morning showing of the movie yesterday, and so I'll get into that and how I felt. I might mention like the crowd experience, but in this video I'm mostly going to be talking about the movie more than the experience of going to the cinema, because I've done that a fair few times now, so there's all of that. So just so you know, I really do enjoy the first Accountant movie, one of the most underrated, underappreciated movies from almost 10 years ago. Just really enjoy that movie, and I have a full review explaining why I enjoyed the movie, appreciated all the themes and stuff like that. So when you get into the second movie, what you have here is 8 years after the first movie, right? And pretty much what happens is you've got Christian Wolf and you've got his brother. But before we get into that, before we even get to that point in the movie, right, you've got this whole thing where, you've got this case where their dad actually passes away because of this woman, and so yeah, there's going to be spoilers in this video. We're going to be comparing elements of of both movies here. Not every element, just a couple elements, is the action better and stuff like that. So there's all of that. So that's what happens. It's this new case where there's something going on behind the scenes. They've got to figure this out and all of that kind of thing. And so the first thing I'm going to say here is, I will say that the storyline of the second movie was average at best. I'm going to be honest in saying there is points where it comes close to being as good as the original, and it's like, no, not as good as the original. And so I still had a good time here. I really do enjoy, Ben Affleck and Jon Bernthal's performances. That was a fun time. Just seeing them interact was really, really fun. It's just when the movie does start using AI technology to track down the bad guys, it's like, couldn't we have just came up with something else here? Couldn't we just come up with a cooler plan to do it this way? You know what I mean? Like, if you're going to follow up one of the best movies, make the storyline just a little bit more interesting here, okay? Because if you get a storyline where it's just AI and people on a computer, or there's like an Alexa type parody in this movie as well, it's funny, don't get me wrong, but it's kind of lazy to just have AI and robots take over this kind of crime scene investigation, rather than having the actual humans do it. Because Ben Affleck's character, Jon Bernthal, they get involved in this case, but the AI is trying to overtake their mind, and it's really annoying. Because especially, let's compare it to the first movie where Ben Affleck was clever, he did everything he could to get the job done, but this time AI takes a centre stage, and it was fine, but not the greatest plot type of thing for this kind of movie anyway. So there's definitely that. But what I think makes this come really close to the original, right, is definitely the action sequences. The action gunplay in the film is just a lot better executed. Instead of just rocking up to a house later on in the movie and like a building blows up, in this you get scenes where Jon Bernthal, Ben Affleck get into fully decked armour and they grab a gun, right, they go like that, and it's like, oh fuck yeah, this is absolutely American badass shit right here. Because they get into some action, you see the action guys get the action done, so it's really cool how they did it. There's like explosive guns, they're in it, like it's like in this area and stuff like that, and there's like smoke and there's like dust or whatever, like sand or whatever, right, and it just sets the tone properly. Like, that was really solid stuff. And there's solid comedic bits, solid comedic elements, solid chemistry between the both characters. It's just, I wish the storyline was a lot more interesting than the action, the comedy. And so that's how I would say for this movie in particular, is that I preferred the story of the original. It felt more closed in, relatable, understandable. This one, it's like, yeah, it's like gotta take out the bad guy because this is happening. Let's go here, let's go there. So that wasn't really my jam in terms of the storyline. So overall, with The Accountant 2, probably going to give this one a 6 out of 10 for the story. I'd say the action was 8 out of 10 compared to the first movie, but it definitely has a weaker story than the original. I can't kind of shake that off of my mind. It doesn't mean it's a bad movie, does not mean that at all. I think I would say that not every joke lands. I'll be honest, there's quite a few, quite a lot that land, and then there's a few where it's like, whatever, okay. especially the stuff at the start of the movie with the whole dating competition thing. Like, that was fine. It wasn't super duper funny. Like, every third or fourth scene was funny, not every scene, sure. So I've done enough explaining here. So yeah, that's what I would say about that movie. The movie having less accounting definitely was interesting to change the tone of the movie. But yeah, that's actually the way I would talk about this movie, because I tried to record this a few times and I don't know what I was doing. I was messing about and stuff. So yeah, that's my review of The Accountant 2. Hope you enjoyed this review and stay tuned for more like it. Peace out and see you later for another review on the James Ramblin' Reviews. Bye.